Hey all, we're going to be making a chain today in Photoshop Elements. It looks a lot more complicated than it is, and so we're going to just jump right in there and get started at showing you how to make this chain. First, get your elliptical marquee tool. And now I made my links for the chains approximately 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches, and I just kind of eyed this ruler over here and made my selection. And you want it to be an oval and not a circle, and you want it to be a little bit wide. Let's go ahead and turn off this background layer because we've got white going on here. And right click and simplify. Now we need to cut a hole into that. So I'm going to switch my foreground and background color. It doesn't matter what colors they are, we just want another shape. And I'm going to get that elliptical tool out again. And I'm going to just draw a center for it. And then I can move this, let's right click and simplify that again, until it's kind of centered. We want to maybe make it fully centered. I'm going to hold down my control key and click so both of those layers are active, and then go to the line drop down menu and align vertical and align horizontal centers. Now I'm going to hold down my control key and make a selection of that smaller one. I'm going to go back to the larger one and hit my delete key. Control D to deselect. Now, this is the tricky part, is that you got to find a good layer style for these, and that's what you probably learned in a lot of the other lessons here at Hummy's World. It really pays to go out and find some good layer styles, but for these purposes I'm just going to use something that is already in Photoshop Elements. Let's go ahead and click on this first one. And that looks good, but we don't want a drop shadow on it. And is the bevel a little high? Yeah, I'll just leave the bevel there. And so there we have one link. Now the next link that we have to create is a little bit thinner than this one. And I'm going to go ahead and Control J to duplicate it and move it over, and I want to show you why this is not the way you want to do it. You may think that you can just grab the edges and make it a little thinner, but if you'll notice that this is a lot wider than this, and so that doesn't quite work very well. We can right click and simplify it and hold down our control key, click on the layer in the layers palette, go up to select, modify, and expand it by about 4 maybe. And you can use your paint bucket tool or keyboard shortcuts and just fill that selection. And now I'm going to go back here and get the, well, actually I'm noting it's a little bit tall. Let's go ahead and, before we fill it in, make it a little bit shorter. And I'm going to right click, get this layer style, and paste that layer style in here. And now we have a link that is a little bit thinner, not quite as wide as the other one to work with. And so here's what we're going to do next. You can make that however you want. If you want to make this by starting all over using the elliptical marquee tool, you can do that also. I just kind of did a little bit of a cheat there, because you kind of do want the links about the same height, but you could really make them however you wanted to make them. So what I'm going to do is hold down my control key and make sure both of these are the selected layers, and I'm going to drag this down to my new layer icon, and it creates, whoops, let's position them first. I am going to zoom out, put this up here at the top of my page so I got plenty of room. And then I'm going to move this second link in right below this so they barely meet up. Okay, now I'm going to do what I did a second ago and make sure these two are both active, holding down my control key. Drag them to the new layer icon, then drag these down so they link again. You'll see these stay selected, so I'm just going to drag it to the new layer icon again and drag them down yet again. And we're going to keep moving down the page in such a manner. It's actually pretty easy. So we could keep going, but I'm going to make this short for right now because we only have so much of a tutorial length to do. I'm going to click on this first one so that it makes this layer the active layer again, so I know which one it is. And now it might help for you to name these, just number them, because the next part is actually really easy, but if you don't concentrate, it could be very hard. So we have 8 links. So it takes a little bit of a concentration, and numbering them helps. So I'm going to click on this first one with my control key on the thumbnail to make arching ants around it. And then I'm going to go to the number 2 layer, which is the second link. I'm going to get my eraser tool and resize that down a little bit and just erase that section. Actually, it might be beneficial. I kind of like what the layer style just did, but if you want to simplify the layer style before you duplicate all these, that might be a good idea too. But next, it's time to get a little bit of a rhythm going on, and I'm going to hold down my control key, make a selection of layer 2, and then click on layer 3 and delete again on the right side. Make sure you get it all. So we're always deleting on the right side. Now I'm on layer 3. I'm going to hold down the control key, make a selection of it, and make number 4 active, and delete right off of there. And I'm going to keep going up in the same manner. Select 4, go to number 5, and erase. Select 5, go to number 6, and erase. Select 6, go to number 7, and erase. It's just as easy as this. Select 7 and go to 8, and erase. Looks like we actually have a 9 and a 10 here. I had more than I thought. So then we're going to select 8 and whoops, go to 9 and delete. Select 9, go to 10 and delete. And now you have a chain just like that. All linked together. I actually kind of like it better having the layer style not simplified. In my other version I had simplified it. So that really turned out to look pretty cool, huh? And so I can keep going down and making this chain longer if I want, but I want to go ahead and show you another little thing that makes this even yet more realistic. This kind of did it already, but let's go in here and right click and simplify a couple, about 4 of these layers to play with, because I may finish this on out after the video finishes, so I don't want to do all of it, and I want to preserve my layer style. If you go to the first one here and then go to your get your burn tool, whoa, way big, use my bracket key to bring that down. Now I'm on the first layer, and I'm thinking about how it's going to be shadowed where this other link is going over it, and so I'm just going to grab it and give it a little bit of a shadow by burning it on both sides of, make this a little bit smaller, on both sides of the link, and the same over here. So I'm going to be doing that, and then I'm going to go to the next layer, and it's going to have where it gets dark and on the top section and where it meets the other one on the bottom. So you could go through here, then I'm going to go to number 3 and hit the top where it meets on the other link on both sides and on the bottom. I'm just giving it some realistic shadows for where the 2 links meet. And then you go to 4, and you just keep on going down and doing so, making a little bit more realistic. And just like that, you have a chain. And you can see here how the top looks with the shadows, looks a little bit more realistic than down here on the bottom. So I'll probably offer these up for free on my blog, and of course in the forum forever. Blog for a short period of time, and I'll go ahead and finish these out after I finish the tutorial. But I want to thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing what you can do with the chains. Remember, they don't always have to be straight. There's some food for thought for you. Bye now.